David, it sounded like you wanted to respond.
Well, I did, and
do you still want to respond?
I have a lot of well, there's a lot to respond to. So let me roll back to the beginning. I have a lot of respect for Senator Coburn, but first of all, this notion that the website crashed because the government was running it belies the fact that there have been website disasters in private industry as well. So let's
David, none of them spent $800 million building a website.
Let's push that aside. You talk about transparency. This is the first time in history that you can make an apples-to-apples comparison about health care plans, you know, online in front of you.
Except with your old plan, because you're no longer eligible to buy your own plan, which was the #1 promise the president made to the American people. You cannot get what you have.
Most people are going to keep their own plan, Senator, and you know that.
That's not true.
There were some plans. There was the head of Blue Cross in Florida was on television yesterday. He said there's a small number of people in his state who are going to be transferred to plans that have a higher quality. And most of them will be subsidized and will end up paying less for those plans. So let's not play games about it. People are not going to. The majority of people in this country, the vast majority of people in this country, are keeping their plan. People who are uninsured are going to have choices they never had before. And as for government, I mean, and there are private carriers. Their insurance is not going to be with the government. Their insurance is going to be with private carriers. So let's be straight about that. Now, in terms of the government getting involved in health care, you know, nobody is suggesting that we should disband Medicare, although we heard many of the same complaints about Medicare back in the day when Medicare was
David, let's talk about Medicare for a minute.
Nobody's debating about the veterans program.
Medicare is bankrupt. 20% of everything that's spent in Medicare is defrauded from the government. It's over $80 billion a year is defrauded. How's that running for us? I'm not against Medicare, but how about having it run in a way to where the private insurance's fraud rate is less than 2%. We're 10 times greater because we don't know how to do it. And we don't function effectively when the government does it. There's nothing wrong with the program, but let's do it a different way. And what you're seeing roll out with the Affordable Care Act is the same incompetencies that we see in large bureaucratic institutions. It's not that the ideas are all bad in the Affordable Care Act. It's that we're incompetent to roll it out. And we've proven that today.
In the last several years, we've seen the cost of health care, the growth of health care costs level off after a whole decade of almost double-digit increases. And everyone, including the Congressional Budget Office, has suggested that the Affordable Care Act has had something to do with that.
Okay.
All right, so that's kind of an important
That's not an accurate
fact.
representation of the fact. Matter of fact, most of the business analysis and economic analysis of why it's down is because the economy is flat on its back.
No, that's not. Yes,
that is true.
That is true.
That's why health care insurance is not risen.
But it continues, Senator, and about a third of it, a third of it was ascribed to the Affordable Care Act, because there are practices that have been promoted through the Affordable Care Act, reduction in promotion of health care IT, reduction in infection rates in hospitals, reduction in readmissions in hospitals, the promotion of accountable care organizations that charge not a fee for service, but for keeping people healthy. All of those things have been to have an impact. So my suggestion is, let's make this work. Let's give people who don't have health care the opportunity to have it. Let's give people who have health care quality health care.
If you would have, go read about the Patient's Choice Act. Senator Burr, myself, and about 20 other Republican senators. Every aspect that you're seeing that's positive in the Affordable Care Act was in that bill, except ours doesn't cost $2.6 trillion. Ours isn't run by the government. Ours is run by the private sector with transparency and mandates that you have to be transparent, that you can actually see what you're getting and what you're paying for. And we actually let people keep what they like rather than making a promise, here's what you can have, and then making sure you can't have that. And that's true across every state in this country.
All right, a great